Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 554, and today we'll be playing the Pyromancer and Backpack Battles. And so, this is our last trip around, our final victory lap around the classes, if you will. Once we get past this video, I plan on playing the same class over and over and over again, and trying to make a push up into Masters before we jump back to Legends of Runeterra in the next week or so. And so, let's get the Pyromancer going. Let's get it up and running. See if we get a sweet-ass start out here and see what we can do. And so, interesting little shop. You have the start here with the shovel, where we have the on-sale pan and the on-sale broom. I'm pretty on board with that. It just gives us a nice little economy start and something to do with all of these weapons. And so I think that will be okay. I think we can probably just purchase out this whole shop. The question would be, do we actually want to pick up the healing herbs? And I bet we don't. I think the thing we'd probably prefer to do here is just to roll and hope we hit a 4-slot bag. And so let's see if that turns up. It does not, but some more interesting stuff here. There is the whetstone. I do enjoy going for the hero blades at the beginning of the battles with the pyromancer, but I feel like it's much weaker in this patch than it has been in the previous couple. Otherwise, I'm not opposed to picking up the banana. It's a very strong early game item, giving you some sustain and giving you some stamina to make sure you keep your deeps up, but it's not on sale, although nothing is for sale in this one. And so let's at least manage up this bag real quick, see what it's going to look like once we get all of our friends on board. Get this sword out of here. It's going to be a bit of a problem, and then that gets our bag full. And so I think that this is a reasonable start. Again, the question is going to be, do we want the whetstone? Do we want the banana? As far as the banana goes, like starting towards food, I'm not super excited about pyromancer food. The chili pepper is kind of strong, but it's not my favorite food build because there's no subclass food item. Otherwise, you're just kind of stuck with the I guess saying you're stuck with it isn't completely accurate, but the friendly fire being the kind of food thing, since it can tie in with the chili pepper and all of the flame gain. And so kind of is what it is, but I'm really kind of down on the whetstones these days, so I'm going to pick up the banana and then call it a day here. So let's jump on in, see if we can't take down this first opponent. So what do we got? He's got the thorns. That always scares me, seeing the thorns pop up in the initial run. If we can start to drop a bunch of blinds, I'd feel a lot better about this. But man, we just smashed that guy. I don't know what we were worried about there. And all right, so good stuff. Definitely want to pick up the bag. Definitely want the on-sale garlic. I'm kind of okay with the pig. It does get us in a fairly economy-heavy style of start with both the shovel and the piggy bank, but we might be able to kind of fight through that. We do have the double food to give us a little bit of sustain against that kind of, or a little bit of sustain to help survive with a double economy thing. But let's see how this looks so far. What's our bag look like? I'm not really amped about rolling here. We could leave the piggy bank at home and then just go with the double flame. Otherwise, we can also just fit the sword back in. It doesn't ravage your stamina just having the shovel. Having the pan and the broom does, but when they upgrade into shovel, the stamina goes back to being much more manageable. And so I think this is just like probably good enough. Like if any of this stuff was on sale, I would be a little bit more hype about it. And then if we could just roll and get a bag, I'd be okay with that. But I think we're just kind of stuck not spending the money here early, which is a bit of a bummer, right? If you're coming into battles and you have whatever it is at this round, like access to 20 gold, and you only use 15 of it, that's a 75% gold usage. To where if it's like round 15 and you're only wasting 5 gold, it's not nearly as much of a percentage of your economy lost. And so we're still fighting through. Dude hadn't quite picked up enough whetstone style of things to pop off, and so we're looking pretty okay there. And so how do we want to do with this? I always enjoy a dagger. There's just a lot that we can get going with these. It upgrades the flame dagger with the pyromancer, and then otherwise you can look to just kind of turn it into a spectral dagger if we land in the mana generation thing, which I've been doing more and more of these runs. So I think that's a decent pickup. I don't want the gloves. If we been building towards the whetstone and the sword, then you want the gloves for the falcon blade. But I think that we can just kind of pass on all of these wooden sword based offerings, and then we'll probably just pass on this whole shop. Okay, what are we gonna have going on here? Pick up a bag, happy for that. I'm okay with the customer card. It's not that big of a deal. And then there is a pan. If we want to potentially go that route, if we want to really kind of drive home the food build, then leaving the option to pick up an Excalibur is kind of reasonable, but I would definitely prefer it to be on sale. And so I don't think I'm really hype about chasing after that. And so let's see if we can't improve the bag just a little bit. We can get, I guess this is the question for the round, right? Is do we want to upgrade the dagger, which it does get you in kind of an interesting space. So the molten dagger is down here. It's a fire item, and then you get to spend your heat, right? So you spend heat to gain 2 extra damage, and so it's kind of counterintuitive to use it with something like the friendly fire, since you're burning down all your flames and you're not really picking up all of those extra damages. But it does work reasonably well with things like the burning banner. If you get to turn the flame wholly next to the armor, then it's right next to it and working there. And then it can kind of be okay with things like the dark lantern if we start to land on a vampirism kind of build. Having those free melee weapons around to help pad our health is kind of decent. And so I'm just not a huge fan of both of those things, but I think the friendly fire is kind of okay to avoid at this point. We're not like super heavy into anything that our comp is doing at this point, right? And so I think that it's probably a fairly safe upgrade to just pick up the molten dagger. We get I don't want the torch. I want to see if we can't get this lump of coal upgrading as well. There we go. Just turn the lock off on the wooden sword. Oh, you want the customer card though. Okay, I think that's it. I think we're good. I think we figured it out. Let's see how this battle goes. And so, yeah, I think we'll look towards the holy stuff. We'll look towards the vampiric kind of stuff. We're still, at least at a decent spot to where we aren't devoted to doing stuff with the flame dagger and selling out some of our flames. But we'll see. It should still at least be powerful here early. I guess, that's not entirely true with this. Ooh, we sneaked that one out. We both got down to 2 health at the end, and then we got the final hit in. I was going to say, I guess, in my head, I didn't particularly like the idea of taking the flame daggers with the friendly fire. But, I mean, if we're spending mana to gain heat, and then we just spend the heat to make our daggers better, that's okay. Like, hitting the 40 heat is pretty good to pick up that 15 health regen. Like, dealing the 100 damage isn't nearly as relevant, but maybe that is kind of an okay build around thing for these daggers, in the sense that we're using it to support the dagger as opposed to using the burning flame as the kind of big build around thing for our comp. And so, interesting section here as well. We have the hammer turn up. Now, I'm not usually a huge fan of the hammer with the pyromancer, right? Whenever you start stacking in these daggers into your build, then the hammer starts to get much more appealing. But I just don't really like it with the pyromancer, and so it's fine with the warlock, whatever it is, the reaper, where you can get the subclass item. It can be kind of fine with the berserker, where you can get the brass knuckles and then have 2 items that stun, or you can land in the runes that stun. But without like those double stack of synergies, I don't really like the hammer. And so what I think I'm leaning towards here is I like the broom, I like the mana orb. We can use that to build the wand. I'm gonna go ahead and sell off the sword. I'm gonna sell off the shield as well. We're not gonna have enough space within our old sack out here. Otherwise, I want to get the magic staff up and running. And then I think we're going to just start kind of pushing away from the idea of having food in the build. And so it's still like okay to me to have the garlic running around and have the banana running around. They're reasonable early game items, but it's not where we're going to be taking this at the end of the day. right, so let's fill up these bags where we can. Like to make another lump of coal into burning coal. That's good. We'll get the burning coal into the shovel. And this is another nice little potential for heat generation. And so these burning coals do play nicely within the molten daggers. Otherwise, not quite ready to roll. Got that 4 gold again. The story, the story of our life. Just keep that that 4 gold around forever. So what do we got here? Guy's got a bit of armor shred, but I think we can outdo the Goobert here. Maybe not till we get our wand up and online. Just a little bit too slow with the damages. Alright, so what's up next? Happy to pick up more bags, sounds good. Don't want the box of riches in these builds. It's not something I particularly like with the... there's just not enough slots to go around with it. Otherwise, we can keep picking up the flames. We can just sell them if we don't have the space for it. Interesting, another dagger makes an appearance, and so let's see how we want to get this up and running. Oh, we need a gold. Do we just want to get rid of the shovel at this point? Maybe we get rid of the customer card. I'm not a huge fan of it. Get our second dagger up and running, though. I still don't think we want hammers, right? We have the potential to add hammers into the mix, but I think I'm going to be happy with the magic staff. We'll look to just convert it to a staff of fire, and then maybe we actually look to do something like moon armors and the burning banner, as opposed to going for a sun armor style build. So we'll see. We'll think about that when the time comes. I don't think these are magic items. Yeah, they're just fire daggers. What do we got here? Up against the Thorns, bro? It's annoying as shit having these Thorns battles turn up when we're trying to do cool stuff with our daggers. But we made it through the round, got the takedown. Good stuff. And so another interesting section here in the sense that we've got the leather armor, which, you know, we could still look to build towards where you at, to build towards the Dark Lantern, so you lose half your health, and when you die you come back. The big idea with the Dark Lantern is, so you start at half health, you gain some armor, and then you have lifesteal to heal back up to full. And so it's like you gained a bunch of health along the way of sorts. And so then you die, you reincarnate, you're at half health, and you lifesteal it back a bunch of life again after that. And so like you can chase after that kind of thing. You really want to be heavy into the melee weapons to do it. It does lean towards dark items, so something like Dark Saber can fit in there as well. But where that's kind of going is we have the opportunity to pick up leather armors in here, and the leather armor does build towards the vampiric armor. It just it kind of clashes with wanting to go for the dark items with the corrupted armor out here. And so I'm not entirely sold on that. I do kind of like the health potion and the healing herbs, just to go ahead and upgrade to the mega potion at this point. I think I'm on board with this. Let's see if we can't figure out a way to make this bag work and have everything we want. I need one more slot. Sure. And it is kind of interesting having the upgraded health potion. It gives you some of those hearts, which can be useful with spending on some of these attack-based items. Where you at? Like the Bloodthorn spends hearts to do stuff, and I don't think we're going to be going down that path of that path of lifesteal, but there's an option there. All right, what's this guy doing? We caught the Reaper right before their Bloodthorn was mixed together. That's pretty good for us. Nice little bit of RNG. Okay. So this is where things are going to start to matter. This will probably be our last opportunity to find a hammer. If we really want to go for the hammer and the daggers here, you know, this would be it. Now, I'm not really amped about that. I'm just not the hugest fan, again, of the hammers within this. There is a spear, though. The spear can upgrade to the molten spear, which you can then use to to kind of upgrades with the sun armors and the like, or you can turn the spear into the holy spear, which is another one that does very similar things. But I think I'm leaning towards just going with the staff of fire. I think that that looks okay. Now the thing that I'm not in tune enough with the pyromancer here is, like, if we get rid of the shovel, that drops our stamina way low, right? We're only spending half a stamina per second, so we just regenerate through it. And so we would have the opportunity to put in another weapon so that we get to come in and spend our stamina. And I'm not certain if we really want the spear to be it. You know, we could make it holy and then look to build towards the holy stuff, but I think I would prefer to just try and make mana thirst. And I think this is where this build's going to start going, is going towards the things like the moon armor, but we don't have any mana generation at this point. Maybe we should just be looking to build towards the sun armor and the sun shield. It does suck to burn through the heat. You know, we have to sacrifice the flames to upgrade these armors, but it does at least give us a little bit of flames at the beginning of the battles, and so maybe that's the way to go about it. All right, so I'm gonna sell off some of this weaker stuff. Get rid of these onions. Then we'll pick up the shield. Such an expensive purchase here. I hope it's a decent one. I hope it's a decent one. So let's see. We got our health potion up top. Got our flames in the bag. Let's get rolling. Another thorns comp. Shit's annoying. I guess he's not really stacked too heavily into it. I just see the spiked shield and the claws of attack and start to worry about the thorns. But it seems like our items are just way higher quality than what the opponent's bringing at us. All right, so the subclass unlocked, and so the you're not like stuck just going towards the burning banner. It's not one that I'm even really super excited about, but that's what you tend to find once you start chasing down things like the sun shield. But the firebender could be okay. We can still get a decent wrap with the firebender since we have these molten daggers that are pretty good at surrounding it, and so I could see that playing out as well. The things I'm not going to do though are Scale Warden, Cryomancer. Those are just kind of off the table to me. Ashbringer we could do. It's not too late to kind of pivot into the reincarnate stuff, but I feel like we've really lost out on a lot of our opportunities here with where that would take us. And so I think I'm going to just go for the Crusader. It's not something I'm super amped about. Yeah, let's just take the Firebender. I can't bring myself to really want these things. It's tough. Like, this is the place where I'm lacking with the Pyromancer, in the sense that it just feels like with the Crusader, that's just got to be where we're supposed to be, right? Feels horrible. So I don't want anything to do with it. And so I'm kind of curious if we shouldn't have taken that spear a round or two ago. That's where I feel like we're struggling a little bit right now. But that bag wasn't very good. We'll pick up the stamina sack here. Fine to pick up some blueberries. They are reasonable in terms of just stacking in and filling in the slots and giving us just a little bit of mana generation, which we currently have none of. And then there is a health potion, which I'm not opposed to. We could just start to, say, move away from the bananas completely, pick up the health potion, and then we can turn the health potion into mana potion if we want. And then if we're looking to make spectral daggers, that's a way to get those. But I'm not usually a huge fan of the mana potions, and so I don't think we want to upgrade it without something specific in mind. All right. Our only holy item at this point is the big shield, right? There's somewhere clever we can put this. I guess this spot up top will work, and we can just rotate the potions around. So, right, the 25% chance to protect your buffs from being removed and debuffs from being cleansed. Yep. The holy item activation has a chance to put blind on. Yep. And then remove 2 buffs from your opponent and gain 2 hearts. Gotcha. Okay. What's this guy doing? Gonna start stacking up those poisons. Got that pandemonium out there. Did shoot up to shoot up to 14 regen pretty quick. Okay, okay. As the battle drug on, I thought that was just going to get worse and worse and worse, but we managed to fight through, so that was pretty good. Now, interesting stuff here, right? This is our next opportunity to come in and pick up the Holy Spear. If that's the one that we would like to use, that's going to be our friend up here. And so you do get some bonuses with the sun armor, wanting to target holy items, so we can use that to up our buffs. And then this thing, you can target like the holy slots in front of it. So depending on how you line things up, you can turn all of your flames into holy items with the sun armor and then upgrade them with the holy spear. But like, what's the stamina on this? 1? What's the stamina on the shovel? 1.7? And so I think that we'll look to just straight up kind of upgrade here, right? So we're going to pick up the spear. Are we willing to wait around for it? Because I also want this dagger, right? The dagger is going to be coming into the mix as well. And so if we do it this way, if we do it this way, then it's going to wait a turn to upgrade. All right, let's take the reserve, though. I think this will be fine. I think this is coming together reasonably. Do need to find the sun armor, though. That's one of the, the major kind of build-around component that we're currently lacking. I think we're doing okay against this guy. He has a little bit of scaling with the burning torch, but I feel like all of our items are better than his. Okay, and then a hammer turning up. We're not going hammer. It's too late for that. But let's pick up the crown. We'll take that upgrade as soon as we can. And now we have a lot of options that we're really interested in out here with the potion belt. I think we can just keep rolling past, but I do want to pick up the mana orb, and I do want to pick up the blueberries. Why didn't our item fucking upgrade? Damn it, that's annoying. Okay, game. If you're gonna be like that, we'll just have to wait around for it. But this seems okay. I could see some argument to want to pick up flutes, right? You do have the opportunities to just load up in front of a bunch of flames, and it activates pretty quickly. And then we have some of these smaller items as well, like blueberries and daggers. But I think it's a pretty big ask in terms of bag slots once we start adding in the shield and then the big armor and stuff. And so I think we'll skip past it for the moment. All right, so many stamina, so many thorn shields today. Coming out, bringing out the daggers, and you got to run into that nonsense. At least we should be getting a lot of shield activations out of this, right? Every time he punches us, we get an activation out of our shield. Kicked up our regen pretty high. We got up to 17, but just couldn't deeps it at the end. That's what we get for not upgrading our dagger on the previous round. All right, I don't think we need the stamina potion. I'm usually pretty okay with picking these up, or at least having access to one. As the battle drags on, it can be pretty good. We're slowly draining mana here, and if we're out here like punching shields, we'll lose stamina that way, but it's not like a very fast drain on what's happening to us, and so I'm having a tough time convincing myself that I actually want it. We're gonna regret it once once the day passes and that's gone. But here, this looks good. Everything that we need, right? We've got the holy armor here. We'll pick that up next round. We got to add in a bag as well. We should be able to get this. I mean, sure, mana orbs in a reasonable spot here, I guess. Get our health potions back in. All right, seems to be coming together reasonably. I feel a little at a loss in terms of what we're trying to build, but it seems like the game is blessing us and we're doing okay. Get those staminas stacking up. Looks good. All right, fam. And so let's see. Definitely want the holy armor. We're going to pass on things like Ruby Egg. I love seeing that expensive stuff on sale, but just not today. And then I took a roll. That was probably fairly aggressive. I didn't realize our money fell so low once I got that that sun armor picked up. But things are starting to turn around here, right? This is a very strong holy armor. I'll look to rearrange after this round. We'll look to make sure the burning banner is hitting all 3 of our items, and then like we would prefer it to just be somewhere like this, right? Maybe it's worthwhile to just go ahead and upgrade it in the moderately decent place, right, to where it hits the burning banner and the holy spear and the holy armor. Help me help you, my friends. Help me help you. He's going okay. We got stacked on those poisons pretty quick. All right. This is going to be one of these turns to where we're going to have to do a pretty big rearrange, and so we'll see what comes out of it. Pick up the bag. The corrupted crystals, I guess, are okay. I'm not the hugest fan of it requiring the opponent just to be so low, and so let's just go ahead and do this. All right. And so the big thing that you're of course going to look for out of the sun armor is to have the 3 flames kind of lined up around it. And then we're going to look to get the remainder of the flames over on the other side. And so you can just get kind of the full activations all around it. We'll circle around and edit this just a little bit, because I think what we're going to want to see is you're going to want the shield most certainly touching. And then we also are going to want something kind of like this, right, where the burning banner is, to where it's activating on all of those flames that are touching the sun armor. And so it's going to take me a hot minute to figure this out, because the next thing I kind of tell is I do want maybe this is the more appropriate way to do it. We need the 1-slot bags underneath the holy armor, but here we can do this. Okay, we're getting there. Where I'm trying to go with this is we've got the holy armor, and then I just want to stack all of the daggers right next to it. And then I think that's going to let us really pop off here, in the sense that when we line up this dum-dum, right, when we put our burning banner up here, we'd much rather it be on these constantly activating items like the daggers, as opposed to being on a single activation with the flames. And so I think that is the kind of big key core of what we're going to be trying to pull off here, is having this lineup. Otherwise, after that, we can put, say, the shield thing down here, and then we're going to have our banner right in the middle. So at least the shield is still on the sun armor. We're not going to be getting the activations off of it this way, but I think that's a reasonable price to pay. Otherwise, let's get these things over here. I do want my holy items in front of the burning banner, and so I think with that in mind, we'll want it to look like this. We'll eventually get a fire staff, but this is going to be the final piece of the puzzle, right? To where we get the sun armor hitting on the magic staff, and then all of our attacky items to the left are underneath the burning banner. And so that's good. We can do the similar thing out here to the right, to where we've got the holy spear getting activated on with the burning banner. We're not going to get any of the kind of debuff activations off of it this way, but I think that's okay. It's not the hugest selling point to using the item, if you ask me. All right, so we've got those all stacked in. I guess we'll just put the mana orb over here where it touches the holy spear. Don't want mana potions. And then drink from the strong health potion. Okay. Or I guess we could line it out like this. Some close. We're close to doing it. There we go. There we go. I knew we could get there. And so that looks pretty reasonable, right? I think that's a good way to be approaching this build. You know, we still need to upgrade the magic staff to be fire, but we're close. We've got the 3 daggers all landing under the burning banner. We're going to be dropping the blinds like crazy. So let's jump in. See if it plays out how we want. I mean, you got to imagine the blinds look decent against a berserker. We'll see how they stack in. He's clearing those debuffs kind of quick. It's the only one we're putting down, so whenever you clear a debuff, it's going to hit the blinds, but it seemed like it was going okay. The pain point here is we soaked through all of our flames. You got one massive crit in right at the end, but I don't think we have any way to really adjust that, right, to just get more flame generation out here, and so we'll see, though. We'll see what turns up. All right, so we'll pick up the bag. I don't think we want a second holy armor. It just takes up so much space. I'm not opposed to something like fanfare, though, to randomly gain the empowered, which is nice when you have 5 weapons, or gain mana, which we still need for some of this stuff, right? Some things out here using mana are magic staff, so maybe fanfares are okay. Is it? It's godly. I saw the white text on it. I was like, holy shit, is this thing going to be holy? But not quite the case. All right. So that's okay. We have to figure out how to get that working in our bags, though. Do we want to pick up any of these other things? Like, we have been really stacking heavily on hearts, and so maybe the heart containers are actually one of the places we want to be. Let's just go ahead and put a lock on that. Not certain how good this fanfare is. I mean, it's stacked up on a ton of shit, that's for certain. So it's going to be getting a lot of quick activations out of here. Looks a little better in this location. All right, then our health potions are separated. How many is this? This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stars, to where this is 7 stars. So let's at least rearrange these health potions back together, get those bonus activations reserved on the heart container. All right. Whew, let's see. It feels like something we ought to be able to take into the survival rounds, but I'm not certain. It feels like we're kind of like discovering ways for things to be going right, and then things just keep falling apart just a little bit. I think we're getting there, though. I think we got this one. All right, survival rounds. Let's do it. So let's see. Definitely picking up the heart container. And now this is kind of interesting, right? We have another dagger turn up. Now my intent with the daggers my intent with the magic staff down here was that's just where the dagger is going to be doing its thing, where we're getting all of those extra attacks and stuff. But we're having trouble finding that draconic emblem that upgrades the wand. So I think I'm still okay to just pick up more daggers, right? It doesn't hurt anything to get these things running through the comp. Otherwise, we need the slottage to get the heart container online. I don't feel really great about just passing this turn. So let's pick up the potion container. We can fit it down this way. Just flip our potions around. And it does let us, at some point, maybe like put the heart container in front of the Holy Spear, so it does get some of those activations. It kind of sucks having it sitting on 0, but kind of is what it is. All right, now I think the last thing I want to do, probably just drop the flames out. Just put the flaming dagger in at the top, so we still keep the mana gain off the blueberries. Okay, I'm convinced. Hope you are too. What we got here? Big poison stacks. Get to work, Sun Armor. You got to clear those debuffs. We have a little bit of kind of anti-poison, if you will, with the hearts, but it's scary trying to clear that poison out. I think we're okay. We've managed it pretty reasonably well. We're starting to kick up the empowered. All right, we got there. Barely. Those health potions carrying that little bit of extra weight. All right, so how do we feel about this? I think I like these fanfares. I'm gonna snatch up another one. Still need some more bag space out here. It's tough to decide on. I'm just not certain. You know, it sucks to just give up on these free usages, right? You get to cleanse the debuff and get the armor shred. We're just, you know, straight up not using that. And so, I mean, maybe we'll come in and collect a little bit of it, but then we can't get the fanfares in, right? I'm very disappointed in this in this magic staff that's just refusing to upgrade. I don't know. It's like this seems so reasonable. Like we can do something like this to where, you know, the sun armor gets to get that full bonus out of the dagger being in. Or I should say the burning banner gets the bonus out that way, but man, it's just a real bummer to not to have this magic staff and then just have it do fuck all. Can we clear this up at the bottom so everything can fit? I mean, maybe this is the answer. We'll just put the magic staff at the bottom. Have the molten dagger over to the left, the fanfares going through the top. Look at this terrible fanfare we can assemble going this way. If we need to, it's like we just need to get the space out here. I don't want to leave the heart container in our bag. Maybe, well, I was going to say we can put the fanny pack over to the left and then put the heart container over to the left, but then we don't have any more. I guess we can do that. This is kind of obnoxious. And then put our fanfare facing downward. Okay, I guess. We're doing the best with what we got access to. But that is a touch of an upgrade, right? The burning banner is fully locked in on our 4 daggers. The heart container going. Okay. I guess that's something. I guess. No, we put stuff on the board. Is how they're doing things. All right, I want to see that empowered stack up. Oh, that guy torched us. I saw the health total going down, and I didn't quite realize that he was on the reincarnate comp. We only got the first part of the death in. All right, stamina sack. We definitely need more bags in here. I think I'm fine to roll past all of these items. Just want to find another bag if we can. Kind of awkward with the potion belt, but I think that can work. And then there is the draconic orb out here. And so I think I'm just going to sell the potions. It's gonna free up a lot of space. That just strikes me as the place that we're, you know, most hurting right now. Put stamina sack up here, get more bag usage out to the left. Maybe we finally put the heart container stacked up here. Definitely need the draconic orb to pick up the staff of fire. These fanfares look dumb. There's got to be a better stack for these. Just I want to keep the holy spear under the burning banner. Like we'd really like the fanfare to be in one of these 2 hex spaces to the left, but it kind of is what it is. We get it up in the top. That's a little more appealing, but how many is this? 5 slots, 4 slots. Here's a 5. Okay. All right, I think that's going to be it. Do we want to lock in these blueberries? It's fairly cheap. I think it's fine. Because we're getting down to that stage of the game to where we're not going to have any hexes left, and so maybe it's okay. Our health is certainly shooting up, though. That fatigue's going to hit. That's going to be the opposing thing. I think his Charizards might have already snapped. Ooh, I just saw one flipped as soon as I said it. Rough. All right. All right. Well, we did at least finally hit our we finally hit our big build-around item. It only took to the last round of the game to finally hit the Staff of Fire, but hey, we got it in the comp, you know, so that counts for something, right? Jeez. Jeez. All right. Well, I'll pick up the potion. This is the last battle, right? We might as well just get whatever pure upgrades we can. So we'll get the heroic potion and board. Maybe we'll do something like that. Just get more stacks underneath the fanfare. Then I was going to put the corrupted crystal in something. I'm not really sold on it even being that good. Maybe we do want the leather boots. I'm kind of excited about picking up that 1 point of empowered when we have the 4 daggers running through our build. I usually don't like this item, but I think I'm convinced that it's not horrible in this exact space. A little bit more rearranging here. Get the sun armor fully locked and loaded with these surrounding flames. Not too worried about the max health at this stage and then the fire pit. Alright, I think that's it. Let's push that button and squeeze them cheeks, boys. See if we can't take down a battle. Another burning blade pyromancer out here. He's got the gen stack onto his staff. So it's going to start scaling up and ramping into dealing bigger damages. And so interesting stuff. Not bad, not horrible. We made it to the survival rounds and then pretty much got aced at that point, which, you know, I'm kind of fine with. I feel like the Pyromancer is a class I've played the least of within this patch as the cycle of preparations for videos have come about. And it's just not something that... It feels a lot different than in the previous patch as to what you're trying to activate and achieve with the Pyromancer. And so I like a lot of what we had going on here. I like the pickup of the fanfares. I like all of the daggers going in. It just felt like we were missing like a little bit of something. It strikes me as one of these builds as to where it's good enough to get you to the survival round, but it's not doing enough degenerate stuff to carry you over the top, right? Like if we're taking a look at our opponent here to where they're able to get the Staff of Fire with the perfect Amethyst and then have the Gen Lamp tying into it to get those big activations with it. Like that's one of the, you know, big late game kind of high powered build around things, but to where we're not really doing anything like that, right? We have some scaling with the burning coal laced molten daggers stacked up, but it's not like a really high powered thing that we've been able to assemble. And again, one of the things I don't like building towards is sustain. And so the place where it felt like our comp was doing what it wanted to do, as you can see our health total shoot up to like 472. It would be much higher if we were able to stack in an additional heart container, and then you're able to just shoot your health up higher and higher and higher. But like I would rather just deal a whole bunch of damage as opposed to build up sustain. And so maybe this is the place to where, you know, we're kind of lacking in this build. Maybe the heart container is actually the big build around component that we're missing, in the sense that you get to gain that health, and then that health gain is kind of like using a health potion, but then also you get the +2 empowered, because the empowered to me is what our particular build is going to be strong with. You know, just having the weapon damage is increased by 1 per stack. That's so strong when you're stacking it across all of these daggers. And so I think that, you know, playing a little bit more towards that might have been optimal. And so maybe like the Holy Spear was just kind of meh and not something to chase after, and we should have just been going after these heart containers. Otherwise, I did like the fanfares. No, same reasoning happening in here. Picking up the mana is kind of okay. Picking up empowered is huge, and then removing some stuff from your opponents is kind of okay. And so it does feel a little bit sustain heavy to my taste, but it felt like a reasonable thing nonetheless. And so I think that was okay. Definitely a learning experience for the Pyromancer. We'll definitely need to get some more reps under our belt with this class, but I felt like that went pretty well and we picked up on some good tips along the way. And so good stuff. I had fun with that. Hope you did too, because that is going to do it for us today. So if everyone enjoyed the video, hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way. You had a good time watching. This is Bustin' Me. Thank you for being here.